Truly, sir, irrespective of fine workman, I'm but, as you would say, a cobbler.
But what trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade which I may use in state conscience, which is, indeed, a mender of bad souls.
Wherefore art not in thy shop? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes and make myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday. To see Caesar rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? You blocks! You stones! You worse than senseless things! Know you not, Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up the walls and battlements, the towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass through the streets of Rome. And do you now put on your best attire? And do you call out a holiday? And do you strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood?
Go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw from the Tiber banks and weep your tears into the channel. To the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. Go you down that way towards the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them deathly ceremonies.
Maybe do so. You know it is the feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly at ordinary pitch. Who else would fly above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? Caesar, my lord.
Forget not, in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia, for our elders say the barren touched in this holy chase shake off their sterile curse.
You shall remember when Caesar says, do this, it is performed.
Set on and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Who calls?
Let every noise be still, peace yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue, shriller than all the music, cry, Caesar! Speak.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony, but let me not hinder Cassius your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, but let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number Cassius be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself but by reflection, by other things.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, if you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
I do fear it. Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, though I love him well. But wherefore do you keep me here so long? What is it you would impart? If it be aught where the general good set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. Let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self I had as lief not be, as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared and weeded, buffeted it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the golden Chryses bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body of Caesar carelessly, but not on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that same eye, whose bend doth all the world, did lose his luster. I did hear him groan, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titius!" As a sick girl, ye gods, it doth amaze me.
General Shaft! I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men must walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them, Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed that he is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than with one man? When could they say till now that talked of Rome that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and and room enough when there is in it but one only man.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. When you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times I shall recount hereafter. What you have said, I will with patience hear and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, cheer upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager, to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as these times are like to lay upon us.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar's returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath proceeded worthy note today.
Antonius,
Caesar.
let me have men about me that are fat. Yond Cassius has a lean and hungry. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He's a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Such men as he be never at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of me.
Casca! You pull me by the cloak. Would you speak with me? Aye, Casca. Tell us with the chance today that Caesar looks so sad.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it.
It's mere foolery. I did not mark it.
I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. It was not a crown, neither it was one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again, then he put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers on it. Then he offered it to him a third time. He put it the third time by, and still, as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands, and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you, what did Caesar swoon?
Fell down, foamed at mouth, and was speechless.
It's very likely after falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I, and honest Casca, we have the fallen sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
What said he when he came unto himself?
He said if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired the worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. There's no heed to be taken of them. Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away.
Aye,
Did Cicero say anything?
aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay. And I tell you that I'll near look you in the face again, but those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Morellus and Flavius, for pulling scarfs off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare ye well. There was more foolery yet. I can remember it.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive. Is your mind hold? Is your dinner worth the eating?
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
What a blunt fellow was this grown to be. He was quick metal when he went to school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise? However, he puts on this tardy form.
For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I'll come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that is disposed. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure. Who's there?
Roman.
Casca, by your voice?
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens meant it so.
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night, and thus unbraced Casca, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens?
You are dull, Casca, and those sparks of light that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale, and gaze, and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures and preformed faculties to monstrous quality, why you shall find that nature hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, a man no mightier than thyself or me, or in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
To Caesar that you lead. Is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For Romans now have thews and limbs like to their ancestors, but woe the while our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed with our mother's spirits.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow meet to establish Caesar as king.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage shall deliver Cassius. If I know this, know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what awful when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman.
You speak to Casca, to such a man that is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable dangerous consequence.
Stand close a while, for here comes one
Cinna. I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Cinna, or haste you so?
To find out you. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us has seen strange sights. Oh, Cassius, if we could, but we the noble Brutus to our
Be
party.
you content, good Cinna. Take this paper, and look you lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it. All this done, repair to Pompey's porch, where you shall find us. Is Decius Brutus and Trebonius there?
All but Metellus Cimber, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hie, and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
That done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire, upon the next encounter, yields him ours.
Lucius! Lucius, I say! I would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius, when? Awake, I say! What, Lucius?
Called you, my lord?
Lucius, get me a taper in my study, and when it is lighted, come and call me.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my own part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature is the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves weary walking. Crown him, that, and then, I grant we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is, when it disjoins remorse from power, and to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So, Caesar men. And therefore, think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched, would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burned in your study, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper. Sure, it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again, it is not day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake and see thyself, shall roam, etc. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake. Such instigations have oft been dropped where I have took them up. Shall roam, etc. Thus I must piece it out. Speak, strike, redress. Am I being entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 14 days. The Ides is tomorrow.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks.
Yes, sir.
Since Cassius did first wet me again, Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma, or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, 'tis Cassius at your door who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, and half their faces are buried in their cloaks, that by no means may I discover them.
Let them enter.
Yes, sir.
tavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage. Seek none conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability.
Good morrow, Brutus. Do you trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come with you?
Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honors you. And every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome.
This Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This Casca. This Cinna. And this Metellus Cimber.
They are all welcome. Give your heads all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of man, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off the times, and each man hence to his idle bed. So, let high-sided tyranny range on till each man drop by the lottery. But, if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steal with valor the melting spirits of the women, why then, countrymen, what spur need we but our own cause to prick us to redress? To think that our chance or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears and nobly bears is guilty of a several bastard, if he did break the smallest particle of any promise that is asked of him.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and you know his means. If he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, which, to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our cause will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and hack the limbs. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. In the spirit of man, there is no blood. Let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. This shall make our purpose seem necessary and not envious, which, appearing to the common eye, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And as for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, for Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar, and that were much he should, for he is given to sport, to wildness, and much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
The clock is striking 3.
It is time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown of late. The unaccustomed terror of this night and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the Capitol today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the Capitol.
Nay, we will, all of us, be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reasons. Send him but hither, and I will fashion him.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our hurts. Good morrow, everyone.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now?
You've ungently, Brutus.
stole from my bed, and yesternight, at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of some humor which sometimes hath this hour with every man. He will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition that I should not know you, Brutus? Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, would embrace the means to come by.
Why? So I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add to his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one that you unfold to me. Yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had to resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces, even from darkness.
We'll not, gentle Portia.
I would not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bonds of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or fashion to keep with you at meals, comfort you in bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then I should know the secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal, a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal, a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in my thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Good, Portia. Go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Leave me with haste.
Caesar. Who's within?
My lord.
Go bid the priests do present sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things which we have heard and seen, where counts most horrid sights seen by the watch, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death a necessary end will come when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart, if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger himself knows that Caesar is more dangerous than he, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you to the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, he will tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not, falser, I will not come today. Tell them so then.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far as to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go and tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue up, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings, and portents, and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say. And know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock, apt to be rendered, for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar shall hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to our proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Take you my robe, for I will go. Look where Trebonius is come to fetch me.
Good morning.
Welcome, Trebonius. But Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is t'clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck in 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. Ah, look, Mark Antony, that rebels long and notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So it's a most noble Caesar.
Now sit up. Now tell us what, Trebonius, I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that his best friend shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in, taste some wine with me, and we like friends will straightway go together.
That every like is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus yearns to think upon.
The Ides of March are come. I see. They're not gone.
fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius and Constant.
Trebonius knows his time. Look you, Brutus. He draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where's the Telecimber? Let him go, and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
He's addressed. Press near and second him.
Casca, you are the first editors.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, the Telecimbers rose before thy seat, an humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings, these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, turn pre-ordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools, by which I mean sweet words, low-crooked courtesies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy of my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear, for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me, but I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there is but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men. Men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one, that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it even in this, that I was constant Cimber should be banished, and constant to remain to keep him so. Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus? Doth not Brutus, bootless kneel?
Speak, hands, for me!
What, shall we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Soft, who comes here? A friend of Antony's.
Thus
Brutus, did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and, being prostrate, thus he bade me say, if Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him, and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, then Mark Antony shall not look Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, and will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus with all true faith. So says my master.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come unto this place, he shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet have I a mind that fears him much, and my misgivings still fall shrewdly to the purpose.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? I do beseech you, if you bear me hard now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years. I shall not find myself so apt to die!
Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel as by our hands, in this our present act you see we do, yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful. To you our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony. Our arms and strength of malice, and our hearts and brother's temper do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient, till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear, then we will deliver you the cause why I that did love Caesar when I struck him have thus proceeded.
I doubt not your wisdom. Come, let each man render me his bloody hand. Gentlemen, all. Alas, what shall I say? That I did love thee, Caesar. 'Tis true. If thy spirit look on us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy dead? To see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes most noble, in the presence of thy corpse. Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Here dost thou lie, and here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil, crimsoned in thy lethe. How like a deer strucken by many princes dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, and in a friend it is a cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact me you to have with us?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, I am with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you will give me reason why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do not consent that Antony speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which you will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and give the reason for our Caesar's death. When Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission. and that we are contented Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong. I know not what may fall. I like it not. Here, Antony, take you Caesar's body. You will not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar. And say you do it by our permission, else you shall have no hand at all about his funeral. And you will do it in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I shall desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds do I now prophesy, which, like dumb mouths, do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war, all pity choked with custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall cry havoc, shall it slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed may smell above the earth with carrion men, groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, my lord.
Caesar did write for him to come to Rome.
Did receive his letters and is coming again. Bid me to say to you by word.
Oh, Caesar, thy heart is big, get thee apart and weep. Passion, I can see his catching, for mine eyes, seeing the beads of sorrow stand with thine begin to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him of what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne his corpse to the marketplace. I shall try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men, according to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand.
he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There are tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who here is so base that would be a bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who here is so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who here is so vile that will not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
No.
Then, none have I offended. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in Caesar's death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth. As which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have that same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live. We'll bring him home with shouts and clamors.
Get him a statue as his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar.
Caesar's better part shall be crowning Brutus.
We'll bring him with triumph home into his house.
Countrymen,
Peace! Silence! Brutus speaks.
good countrymen, I do entreat you, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse and do grace to his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which by our permission Mark Antony is allowed to make. I do entreat you, let no man depart save I alone till Antony have spoken.
Stay, we'll hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair. We'll hear him. Noble Antony, go up.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholden to you. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them, and the good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it were a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for he is an honorable man, so were they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful, and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms to the general coffers filled. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal eye. Thrice presented him with the kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, Brutus is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus hath said, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause forbids you then from mourning for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in that coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it comes back to me.
Thinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has done very wrong.
Has he, masters? I fear there will a worse come in his place.
Mark ye his words. He would not take the crown.
For so his eyes are red as fire from weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him.
Caesar might have stood against the world, now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, then I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than to wrong such honorable men. But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet, 'tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
Well,
I hear it.
have patience, gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. 'Tis good you know not you were his heirs, for if you did, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will. We'll hear it, Antony.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wronged the honorable men whose daggers did stab Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors. Honorable men. They are villains, murderers. Read the will, Mark Antony.
You will compel me then to read the will. Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar and let me show you him who made the will. Shall I descend and will you give me leave?
Down.
Then you shall leave.
A ring. A ring, stand round.
Stand from the hearse, stand from the body.
Room for Antony, most noble Antony.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time Caesar ever put it on. It was on a summer's eve in his tent. The day he overcame the Nervi. Look. In this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it out of doors to be resolved. And Brutus so unkindly knocked her no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For as the noble Caesar saw him stab in gratitude, stronger than traitors' arms quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart. And in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statua, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall there was, my countrymen. Then I fell, and you fell, and all of us fell whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Now you weep. And I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself marred, as you see, with traitors. Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak. Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. Friends, I come not to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is. But as you all know me, a plain, blunt man, that loved my friend, and that they knew full well to give me public leave to speak of him, for I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds. Poor, poor dumb mouths, and make them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony that would ruffle your spirits, put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
We'll burn the house of Brutus.
Stay, countrymen, stay. Kind souls, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Here is his will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar, what revenge is that?
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks and private arbors and new planted orchards on this side Tiber, and to your heirs forever common pleasures, to walk abroad, recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never. Never come away, oh, away. We'll burn the body in the holy place, and with the brains fire up the traitors' houses. Take up the body.
Go fetch fire.
Pluck down benches.
Pluck down floors, windows, anything.
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot, take what course thou wilt. How now, Apollo?
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He inlevited our Caesar's house.
And thither I was straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say, Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen for the gates of Rome.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor? Answer every man directly.
I am briefly.
I am wisely.
I and truly you are best.
To answer every man directly and briefly, wisely, and truly, wisely, I'm bachelor.
That is as much as to say they are fools, and you're really a vapor that I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I'm going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or as an enemy?
As a friend.
That matters answer directly.
Now for your dwelling.
Briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
Your name, sir? Truly.
Truly, my name is Sinna.
Tear him to pieces. He's a conspirator.
I'm Sinna the poet. I'm Sinna the poet.
Terror first, bad verses. Terror first, bad
I'm
verses.
not Sinna the conspirator.
Tis no matter. His name's Sinna. I'll put his name out his heart and turn him going.
Tear him! Tear him! Comrades! Oh, firebrands! To Brutus! To Cassius! Burn all! And some to Casca's house! And some to Decius's! And some to Ligurius's! Away! Go!
These many men shall die, their names are pricked.
Your brother, too, must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Up a condition, Julius shall not live, who's our sister's son, Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, with the spot I damn him. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house. Fetch the will hither, and we shall discuss how to cut off some charge of legacies.
What, shall I find you here? Or here, or at the Capitol?
This is a slight, unmeritable man. Me to be set on errands, as if fit the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it.
So you thought him. And took his voice, who should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription?
Octavius, I have seen more days than you, and though we lay these honors on this man to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold. And having taken our treasure where we wilt, then take we down his load, and turn him off, like to the empty ass, to shake his ears and graze in the commons.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And for that I do appoint him store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, to whine, to stop, to run directly on, its corporal motion governed by my spirit. And in some taste is Lepidus but so, he must be taught and trained and bid go forth. And now, listen, Octavius, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers, we must straight make head. But therefore, Let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council how covered matters may be best disclosed, and greatest peril surest answer.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, and bade about with many enemies, and some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Stand up.
Give the word hop and stand.
Look out, Julius.
Is Cassius near?
He is at hand, and Pandarus has come to do you salutation from his master.
He greets me well. Your master, Pandarus, by his own chance or by an officer's, hath given me worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt that my noble master will appear such as he is full of regard and honor.
He is not doubted. Word, Lucilius? How he received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as he has used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note Lucilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks in plain and simple faith, but when they should endure the bloody spur, they fall their crests, and like deceitful jades, sink in the trial. Comes his army on.
They mean this knight of Sardis to be cornered. The greater part, the horse in general, are come with Cassius.
Hark! He has arrived. Horse Chester belongs to you.
Stand up.
Stand.
Stand up, speak the word of law.
Stand.
Stand.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods, wrong I mine enemies. And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them...
Cassius, be content. Before the eyes of both of our armies here, which have received nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Speak your grief softly. I do know you well. Bid them move away. Then, in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Pandarus, bid our commanders lead their charges off, a little from this ground.
Lucilius, do you the like? Let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference. Let Lucius and Titinius guard the door.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters praying on his side because I knew the man were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet every knight's offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Caius Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices in gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm? You know that you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods this speech were else your last.
The name of Caius Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab, and not for justice? What? Shall one of us, that struck the foremost man of all this world before supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes and mark the large space of our honors for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and they at the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bay not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health, tempt me no further.
O slight man.
It's possible.
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? Shall I fright when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this I more. Fret till your proud heart break. By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, through which you split you. For from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth. Yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better Caesar, so make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Oh, peace, peace. You durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not.
No.
What durst not tempt
For
him?
your life you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done. You should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am armed, so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind which I respect not. I did send to you for gold, which you denied me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous that he will launch such wrathful counters from his friends. Be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces!
I denied thee not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not. They do appear as high as huge Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius. For Cassius is weary of the world, hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman, all his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There is my dagger, and here my naked breast, within a heart dearer than Plutus mine, richer than gold. If that thou beest a Roman, take it forth. I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Strike! As thou didst at Caesar. For I know when thou didst hate him worse, thou lovest him better than ever thou lovest Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Do what you will. Dishonor shall be humor. Cautious, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire. Too much enforced sows a hasty spark and straight is cold again.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
Brutus,
What's the matter?
have not you love enough to bear with me when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, he'll think your mother chides and leave you so.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Portia,
She is dead.
how escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss, upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence and grief, that young Octavius with Mark Antony have made themselves so strong for with her death that tidings came, she grew distracted, and her attendants absent swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
O ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. Come, get me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
Oh, my heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill, till the wine o'erswell the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus' love.
Masala. I gather we close about this taper here and call in question our necessities. I have received letters that young Octavius with Mark Antony do come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the South Antenna.
With what addition?
That by conscription and Phil's cavalry, Octavius, Lepidus, and Antony have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that have died with their prescriptions. Cicero being one.
Cicero won. Cicero is dead. And by that order of prescription, what do you think of marching to Philippi presently? I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary as soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a forced contribution, for they have grudged us affection. The enemy, marching along by them, shall make a fuller number up, come on, refreshed, new added, and encouraged, from which advantage we shall cut him off, if at Philippi we do face him there, these people at our back.
Hear me, good
By
brother.
your pardon, you must know beside we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe, the enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline.
Then with your will go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night has crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity. There's no more to say.
No more. Good night. Tomorrow morning will we rise and hence.
Lucius, my gown. Farewell. Good Masala. Good night. Noble, noble Cassius, good night and good repose.
Oh, my most dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never comes such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Farewell, everyone. Lucius, where's thy instrument?
Here in the tent.
Thou speakest drowsily. I blame thee not, poor knave, thou art a watch. I pray thee, boy, lie down in my tent and sleep. It may be I will rise thee by and by on business to my brother Cassius.
So please you, we will stand and watch in pleasure.
I will not have it so, Sirrah. Lie down. Lucius, here's the book I sought for so. I put it in the pocket of my gown.
I am sure your lordship did not give it me.
Bear with me, good boy. I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a note or two?
Ah, my lord, and it please you.
Oh, it does, my boy. I trouble thee much, but thou art willing.
It is my duty, sir.
I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
Though I have slept, my lord, already.
But we're well done, and thou shalt sleep again. I'll not hold thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee. This is a sleepy tune. Murderous slumber. Layest thou thy leaded mace upon my boy that plays thee music? thee so much harm to wake thee. If thou dost not, thou breakst thy instrument. I'll take it from you. Good boy, good night. Let me see. Was not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Here it is. How ill this table grows. Who comes here? I think it is a weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. It comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel, some devil that makes my blood cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus,
Why comest thou?
to tell thee thou shalt see me again at Philippi.
Oh. Then I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Why? I will see thee at Philippi then. Now I takes to heart thou banishest! Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee! Boy Lucius. Awake, Lucius!
Dreams, my lord, are false.
Oh, he thinks he's still at his instrument. Lucius, awake!
My lord,
Didst thou dream that thou surprised out?
my lord, I do not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him sit on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my lord.
Now, Mark Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering the war we do demand.
I am in their bosoms. I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places, coming down with fearful bravery, thinking to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage, but 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Your bloody sign of battle is now. Something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on.
They stand and would have parley. Stand fast, Tinius. We must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar, we will answer on their charge. Make forth, the generals would have some words.
Stir not until we sing. Words before blows. Is it so, gentlemen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
Oh, in your bad strokes, you give good words, Brutus. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. But for your words they rob the hive of bees and leave them soundless.
For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Buzz, buzz.
Villains, you did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and belt like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, all the while damned Casca like a cur from behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Come, come. The cause. If arguing makes us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that this sword goes back up again? Never. Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged. Or until another Caesar hath added slaughter to the swords of traitors.
Oh, Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringest them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword.
Thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man. Thou couldst not die more honorably.
peevish schoolboy worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Mark Antony.
Away.
Defiance, traitors! Hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Why now, blow wind, swell billow, and swim bark. The storm is up and all is on the hazard.
Julius, a word with you.
Masala,
What says my general?
Masala. This is my birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Masala. Be thou my witness that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. Coming from Sardis, on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly o'er our heads and downward look on us, as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly.
Even so, Lucilius.
Brutus, let us reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time you and I shall speak together. What are you then determined to do?
Even by that same philosophy by which I did blame Cato for the death which he did give himself, I know not how, but I find it cowardly to prevent the time of life. Arming myself with the patience to stay the providence of some higher powers that govern us below.
And if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, no, Cassius, think not thou, noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end that business the Ides of March began. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take, forever and forever. Farewell, Cassius.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting was well made.
Why then, read on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come, away.
Oh, look, Titius! Look, the villains fly! Myself up to mine own turned enemy. This ensign here of mine was turning back. I slew the coward and did take it from him.
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early, who having some advantage on Octavius took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed. Fly from off, my lord, fly from off. Mark, please, in your tents, my lord, fly therefore, noble Cassius, fly for off.
This hill is far enough. Look, look, Titius! Are those my tents where I received the fire?
They are, my lord.
Titius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him till he have brought thee up to yonder troops and here again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Go, Pedaris, get higher on that hill. Guard, Titius, tell me what thou noticed about the field. This day I breathed first. Time is come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run as compass,
Oh, my lord! Sarah, what news? Titinius is enclosed round about with horsemen that make to him on the spur. Yet he spurs on. They are almost on him. Now, Titinius! Now, some light. Oh, he lights too. He's staying. And hark, they shout for joy. Come down. Behold no more. Oh, coward that I am, to live so long to see my best friend ta'en before my face. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner, and then I swore thee, saving of thy life, that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come, with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee. Oh, Cassius, far from this country the Nard shall run, for never Roman shall take note of him.
It is but change, Titinius. For Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
All disconsolate with Pindarus' bondman on this hill.
Is that not he that lies upon the ground?
No, this was he, Messala. But Cassius is no more. Oh, setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come, our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men the things that are not? O error, soon conceived, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but kill'st the mother that engendered thee.
What? Pindarus? Where art thou, Pindarus?
Seek him, Titinius, whilst I go to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears, and I may say thrusting it, for piercing steel and darts and venom shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Hie you, Messala. I will seek for Pindarus the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did they not put on my brows this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. Behold thee. Take this garland on thy brow. By Brutus, bid me give it thee, and I will do his bidding. Brutus! Come apace and see how I regarded Caius Cassius! By your leave, gods, the Romans part. Come, Cassius' sword, bind Titinius' heart.
Where Messala doth his body lie? Lo, yonder, and Titinius mourning him. Titinius faces upwards.
He is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet! Thy spirit wafts abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails.
Brave Titinius. Look whether he had not crowned dead Cassius.
Are yet two Romans living such as these? The last of all the Romans, fare thee well. It is impossible that ever Rome should breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I will find time, Cassius. I will find time. Therefore, to Thesos send his body, lest it discomfort us. Come, Lucilius, and young Cato, come. Let us to the field. It's 3 o'clock, and Romans yet ere night. We will try fortune in a second fight. Romans, hold up your heads!
What bastard doth not? I shall proclaim my name about the field. I am the son of Marcus Cato, foes and tyrants and my country's friend. I am the son of Marcus Cato.
O young and noble Cato, art thou down? Why now the diocese bravely as Titinius, and mayest be honored, being Cato's son.
Yield, thou diest.
Only I yield to die. There, and so much that thou would kill me straight. Kill Brutus and be honored in his death.
We must not. The noble prisoner.
Room home. Tell Antony Brutus is tame.
Want all the news? Here comes the general. Brutus is ta'en. Brutus is ta'en, my lord.
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no man will ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. And when you do find him, or alive or dead, he will be found like himself, like Brutus.
This friend is not Brutus, but I assure you a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe. Find out whether Brutus be alive or dead, and bring us word unto Octavius' tent how everything is chanced.
Come, poor remains of friends. Rest on this rock.
Messala showed the torchlight, my lord, but he came not back. He is or ta'en or slain.
Enough, Lucius. Slaying is the word, it is a deed in fashion. Pardon me, Lucius.
What? I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
Peace then, no words.
I'd rather kill myself.
It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Lucius, hold thou my sword whilst I run on it.
That is not an office for a friend, my lord. Fly, there is no tarrying here.
Farewell to you and you, Lucius. Straight on. I was all this while but asleep. Farewell to you too. Countrymen, I shall have glory by this losing day more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. Night hangs upon mine eyes and my bones would rest, that have but labored to attain this hour.
Fly, my lord, fly.
Hence and I'll follow. Strato, I'm ready. Strato, stay thou by thy lord, thou art a fellow of a good respect. Strato, hold thou my sword hilt, and turn away thy face while I run on it. Wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, Strato. Caesar! Now be still. I kill not thee with half so good a will.
not make a fire of him. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else has honored by his death.
So Brutus should be found. I thank thee, Brutus, that thou hast proved Lucilius' saying true.
All those that served Brutus, I will entertain them. Fellow, wilt thou bestow thy time with me?
I, if Masala will permit.
Do so, good Masala. Straight up. How died thy master?
I held a sword, and he did rather.
Then, Octavius, take him to follow thee, and did the latest service unto the master.
This was the noblest Roman of all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtues, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day.
Thank you.